Well, let me show you something about the light. Light illuminates things that are already there. Light does not create new stuff, but light shows what's already happening right there. The things that are going on in the dark, but when you turn the light on, all of a sudden you see what's already been happening. You don't believe me? Go to MountFoxPhilly.com when you go home and watch the 11-minute video for yourself. The other night, there were 3 brothers driving down the street. Some people said they were coming from a shooting, but they ain't found a gun yet. Amen. They were chased by about 16 police officers. And as they tried to pull over and surrender, they were snatched from their car, beaten and stalked. I mean, in a way that we didn't even do Saddam Hussein, and we said he was a mass murderer. And it was all done on a dark side street in Philadelphia. And if those boys would have come home and told us the story, everyone in here would have said, y'all know y'all did something. Somebody must have moved and did something. I mean, the police just ain't gonna beat nobody like that for no excuses, for no reason. But my God, in the midst of the darkness, there was a helicopter hovering above. And the helicopter had a camera that was able to zoom in tight even in the darkness, and there was just enough light to show what was going on. To the point that now even the old police department head had to say, well, I'm a little bit disappointed. Now that's translation, amen. Let me translate that for you. Now when a police captain or the chief has to say, I'm disappointed, he means y'all that called us when our hands and cookies on, and we done messed up so bad, I don't know what we're going to do. I'm a little disappointed. They said, don't rush to judgment. You all take your time and let's kind of work this thing out. Now, I'm very sorry about what happened with the officer that was gunned down last weekend. And I applaud for who put their lives on the line. And we have to pray for that brother's family. Amen. But I recall that when the suspects got away, there was an automatic rush to judgment. They were not called alleged suspects, but they were called cop killers. They never been tried. They never been brought in, but they've been sentenced in the paper. They've been sentenced by the chief, and now the same chief says to us when it's his officer, don't rush to judgment, but be patient. They weren't patient with the boys on the street. They didn't even let them get an ID. They snatched them out, and yet now they want us to be patient with the same folk that do not show patience. And the only reason they're dealing with it now is because the light caught them from up or down. That if it wasn't for the light, they wouldn't acknowledge it. If it wasn't for the light, they said that the boys were lying. If it wasn't for the light, you wouldn't even know what them boys' names are. But thank God for the light. And that's what the Lord said He wants the church to be. He said, I want you to be a light in dark places. He said, you can't ask like another to heaven, just like another one to get elected again. You can't ask Chief Crazy to heaven, even though he's not. Because Crazy want to keep his job. Somebody's got to be the light. Somebody's got to turn the light on and say enough is enough. She's tired of seeing the punching bag. We're tired of you doing a horse song. We're tired of being disrespected. Somebody wants to know. Somebody wants your light shine. It's your shine Get your shine on. What I like about what happened in Philly is that the cameraman wasn't doing anything different. He was just doing his job. That's what he paid to do. He just paid to just shoot whatever he sees. There was no voiceover with commentary, suggest what you want to think about these events. But he's a cameraman, and the cameraman is paid to take pictures. And let me tell you something about the light. Jesus didn't say, go out your way and do something new. Don't go overexert yourself. He said, just be where it calls you to be. He said, in your life, all you got to do is just shine. Because when you shine, you ain't really got to do too much. It's just shining, amen. And he said, I'll do the rest if you just do what you got to do. He said, I want you to shine because that's what I called you to do. the other night. In fact, I believe it was the same night that the boys got arrested. We had a steward board meeting here. Well, let me show you about the light. Remember, the light doesn't create anything new, but the light shines on that which already is. Will it shine so that folk cannot see us, but that they might see God? That's why the AME church, we adopted to wear robes a long time ago. Sometimes we get away name fancy, but ultimately it's a symbol to say that, we take all this other stuff and put this on so you don't focus on us and the shiny suit, but that you focus on the one that we stand and talk for. And so at the steward board meeting the other night, I was in a hurry trying to catch my train. I was trying to catch a ride by the Paul, but he had to pick up Lisa. I said, well, let me get my train. I don't want to wait an extra half an hour. We finished up the agenda and adjourned. I ran into the office and got my stuff together. Then Doc came in and said, Red, there's a young brother out here who wants to talk to you. Some of the students been talking to him, and it just sounded like he's in some bad shape. They said, talking about he got some wrong stuff in it. And he decided to just breaking that and crying. The young brother about 30 years old. I said, good God, I'm going to miss my train. So we bring him in, bring him in. Brother sat down. Hard brother. Just did 6 years. You had to tell, I can tell. It's a different kind of cut, amen. Some of y'all don't talk about it. This is not balance, amen. No, it's not balance. And so brother came in and, this hard brother, cornrows and everything, and closed the door, and this brother broke down in tears. I said, oh, when a black man comes into another black man's office crying like that, I can only imagine what this brother was going through. And he said, man, you were preaching here? I said, yeah. He started telling me a story about how he's been out for the last 4 days. Family doesn't know where he is. Just got out of jail and was doing good and got caught up and just don't know why he messed up again. So I don't know if the police are looking for me, but man, I'm scared to even call home. My mother don't even know where I am right now. My child don't know where I am. He said, I don't know what to do. I've been walking the streets today for the last 5 hours. He said, me and my friend were going to the baking, and I was looking around at my circumstances and said, I can't do this anymore. I walked out, but I didn't know what to do. He said, well, I was walking by your building, and I looked up and I saw that this was a church. And I saw AME on it, and he said, somebody in my family is an AME preacher, and so I just figured maybe I can get some help and some direction. He said, preacher, I'm not asking for anything, I just need some advice. And we continued to talk, and I got him to pick up the phone and call his home. And his father said, don't worry, I'm going to be right there. In fact, I said, I'm going to try to preach that one day around the prodigal son. His daddy didn't ask the question. And I know it was going to be in trouble before. And the father just hung up the phone and said, I'll be right there.